Okay, well, we've already touched on some of these things, but I would like to go back and just ask you about the types of things you value in your life.
Sure.
So, if I were to say pick the top three things in your life that are most important to you, that you value the most, what would those be?
Well, I would say number one is my family. My husband and my children are of the most importance to me. And then I would say number two is my happiness. And number three would be probably my work, my job.
Okay. Well, so how do you feel like your struggles with your weight affect your job?
Well, as far as my job, it's not the most physical job. I mean, I do sit at a desk most of the time, but it's sometimes hard for me if I need to go up and down the stairs. We don't have an elevator in my office, and it's kind of difficult. I feel very winded. Um, and it's also embarrassing when you feel winded just going up, a flight of stairs. I feel like I get judged by coworkers, and it kind of makes me feel uncomfortable just being at work because I feel like I'm judged for the way I look, or if I'm eating something at my desk, like even if it's not happening, I feel like people are judging me.
So you feel like that distracts you from your work?
I don't know if it distracts, but it definitely makes it makes work less enjoyable. Yeah, it kind of almost makes me feel like I don't know, uncomfortable.
Yeah, I can understand, how that would affect you.
Sure.
Um, how do you feel like your struggles with your weight may affect your happiness?
I feel like they affect it a lot. Um, I want to be a happy person, and I feel like I am most of the time, but sometimes it's so hard when I feel like I'm struggling with this giant obstacle, and um, I constantly have people reminding me about it. It's hard to stay happy when my husband tells me I'm overweight, or when I feel like my coworkers think I'm overweight. It's like something that's constantly dragging me down.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, and then how do you think it affects your family?
Well, I know we've talked about this a little a few minutes ago, but
Yeah.
my sometimes it's hard for me to go and play with my kids, and that affects their childhood. Like I want to be there with them, like actively playing with them, not just someone watching them play. So that affects it, and then also I feel like my weight affects my relationship with my husband. Definitely, um, I don't feel like I feel like he's constantly wanting me to lose weight or looking for me to change.
Okay. So just to make sure that I'm understanding where you're coming from,
Sure.
you said that your struggles with your weight affects you at work because you feel like your employees, maybe your coworkers, excuse me,
Sure.
maybe judging you,
Mm-hmm.
and you have a hard time with the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And then as far as your own happiness, it affects you there as well.
Sure.
Um, you feel like it's something you're constantly thinking about is your weight. And then it affects your relationships with people in your family, which is that you said was the thing you value the most.
Definitely.
So it definitely can see how this is really just has a big impact on your life.
Sure.
So um, can we just maybe look back to earlier in your life and maybe this wasn't so much of a problem and talk about what that was like?
Well, I haven't always been the size that I am, but weight has always been a constant struggle for me, even as I was a child. I I think that maybe after I had kids, I just gained a whole lot of weight. Because I was always bigger, but then after having kids, I just gained so much weight, and it was just really hard to take it off.
Okay. So this is something you struggled with your entire life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so looking forward, if you were to continue to be overweight or continue to gain weight, what do you think your life would be like?
I think it would definitely affect pretty much all of the three things I just told you about. It would affect my family for sure. If I kept gaining weight, I feel like that would cause even more issues in my marriage. And I definitely wouldn't be able to have an active role with my children.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that I could be happy if either of those things happened,
Yeah.
for sure. And it would definitely affect my job. If I keep gaining weight, I mean, I feel like eventually I'll have health problems that uh, might affect my job.
Okay. So if you were to wake up tomorrow and everything in your life is perfect,
Sure.
um, and you had control of this problem, what do you think that would look like?
Well, I'd wake up really skinny if everything was perfect, and I would be able to um, run with my kids and walk with my dog,
Mm-hmm.
and no one would talk about my weight at all, and uh, that would be perfect. That would be just like the ideal situation.
So what steps do you think that you could take to get to that?
Um, I know we talked a little bit about me walking my dog,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that would probably be a really great first step um, because I don't know, I feel like it's not as intense as maybe like running or like some of the intensive exercise classes I've tried to take to lose weight in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so maybe that I think maybe would be better, which we mentioned a little bit before. Like I think eating um, more fruits and vegetables might help. I don't really
Mm-hmm.
know besides that.
Okay. So do you think you might want some more information on how to get started?
I I would really be interested in some information. I don't know if it's going to help because I've tried so many things, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you think you have something that could help, that would be great.
Well, I think we have some information, some pamphlets that we can give you.
Mm-hmm.
I think, if you don't mind me sharing with you this, that you mentioned starting off just walking your dog rather than jumping into an intensive exercise program.
Sure.
So I think, starting off with smaller steps may be more beneficial for you in the long run. Do you agree with that?
Um, I think that it would. I think I'm willing to try it. I think it makes more sense to start off slower.
Okay.
I mean, we'll see. I'm willing to try it right now.
Okay, that sounds great.